14 past, Common Man program. It's going to be a text message just came in that says, Cove has currently dropped $13,000 today and is now $12.29/13.82 in chips. So that means he's in 1,229th place, but he has 1,382, and he's in chips-wise, he's in 1,382nd place. Is that what that means? He is now 12.29/13.82 in chips.
Out of 13.82.
Oh, I see.
There's 13.82 remaining. He's at 12.29. Just takes one double up, two double ups, and you're good to go.
He needs a couple of double.
Think
double
positively.
Ups. He needs a couple of double ups. Speaking of doubling up, Mark Rosen doubled up on knee surgeries, knee replacement surgeries. He had one a couple of years ago. He had one just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and he's convalescing at his home. Rosie, how are you today?
I'm good. Going a little stir crazy, but life could be worse. Watching the Twins on my little TV, and got my cats surrounded me, and I had a little lunch, and I'm just trying to get better every day. That's all. That's all I can do.
What did you have for lunch today?
I had tuna salad. That Karen had picked up. I just made I was able to, finally able to kind of get myself to the fridge, try to walk around.
You're able to get up and get to the fridge now?
Well, I have my walker, but I'm able to walk around. My physical therapist encourages me to try to keep working with the kitchen table here. I can kind of hobble my way around, as long as I have a backup system in case I feel a little suspect. So, but I can, you got to get to the fridge. My God, I mean, I'm home alone. Other than my cats aren't going to get it for me. So,
speaking of your cats, you had tuna fish. So did Winky and Blinky get excited and tried to get your tuna fish from you?
Yes. Well, Truman did. That's Karen's cat.
Oh, Truman. I thought your cats were Winky and Blinky.
No, it's
I always
Willow.
That one.
Just Willow and Truman. Truman's the one that's like a raccoon. He literally, I don't care what kind of food you put out, he will be there to try to get inch closer and closer and closer methodically, and even try to push them away. I got a water bottle that I use as a sprayer a little bit to deter them, but he doesn't seem to be deterred by much of anything. So,
you spray your cat with water?
Even if I hold up the bottle, Willow will go scampering. She doesn't like it at all. So I just pretend I'm going to.
Oh,
but once in a while you have to do just a little squirt. That's all it is.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm throwing a garden hose on him. It's just a little, hey, you're not supposed to be up here. Get away. That's all. And he usually does.
Well, can't you just tell him to? Just get out of there.
It's not like a dog. They don't listen. They don't listen. They have their own agenda every single day of their life. Cats have their own agenda.
Why Truman? Why did your wife decide to call the cat Truman? Is it after Capote, the author?
No, after the president. She got two cats years ago, long before I knew her, Abe and Truman. So Abe is a brother, and when
named after Abe Lincoln.
Correct. Abe and Truman. So Truman is here. Abe is down in Westbrook with her mom, and we had to juggle our family. So Willow came with me. My other cat Stevie went with my daughter Chloe. So we made a transaction. Fortunately, her mom, who's a cat person, got a lot of outdoor cats down on the farm, was willing to take Truman off her hands. And it's hard. It was hard, but he's got a good home, and he's got a good, second mama now.
I thought you said Truman's at your house right now.
Oh, Truman's here. I'm sorry. Truman's here. Abe is down in the farm. Did I say Truman? Abe is down in the farm. So Abe is down in the farm in Westbrook, and Truman's here with us.
Why? So we got two. Why did your wife choose Abe Lincoln and Harry Truman? Were those her two favorite presidents?
I'm not quite sure. I've had that discussion with her. I think so. She's got a Truman book in our book. I'm literally staring at it right now. So I assume that had probably something to do with it. We've never really talked that much about past politics. But yeah, I think that was the reason why.
Well, Harry, he was a president right after WW2. I think he was the guy that said, wasn't he the buck stops here guy?
Yes, he was.
He was the buck stops.
I've been to the Truman house in Key West, Florida. It's really that was his winter getaway, and it's an impressive place to go visit. Absolutely,
because FDR died, and then Truman took over. I think isn't that how it went?
Correct. And
then Truman, he was the one that set up the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan.
History.
You familiar with the Marshall Plan?
I'm aware of it. Yeah.
That was the plan to rebuild the damaged economy of Western Europe. Just in case you're wondering. So.
Yeah. Well.
So
there
she
you go.
She must be. Does she ever just call him Harry for fun?
No, it's always Truman.
Okay. And why did you call your cat Willow? I forget.
Because I was living on Willow Street.
Oh.
When I got Willow at the Humane Society, so I figured I might as well go with the street I live on. I like the name, and it stuck. So she's Willow. So she's my baby. Cats are not instinctively as nurturing as dogs. I think that's a pretty common fact. Although
I like them because they're independent. They really are. But they don't need humans. They don't.
The thing is, Willow's not used to seeing me around this much. And secondly, she knows that something's wrong with me because I've been, hobbling around and everything.
Did she ask you about it?
No, but she got into bed, when I was laying down trying to get some sleep last night, and she, gets into bed and she puts her paw on my face and just gently sits there.
Does she change your bandages too, or?
I wish she would, but no, I don't have any bandages to change really too much. So I just got the wrap on my knee, wraps, and the ice machine, which is my constant companion.
You got to help me here. So they cut your flesh on your top of your knee. They hack they just take the knee right out. They just take a saw and saw it out and then put a fake one in there.
That's a little simplistic, but it's not too far off. I mean, what the problem that the hard part that they don't really tell you about as much is that they cut the nerves in your knee. My left knee, so last night I really couldn't sleep very well. I probably had my worst night last night, and there's nothing I could do about it. It's either inflamed or it's barking at me because the nerves are trying to figure out what we're doing here. I don't know. It's just really uncomfortable. I had to get up and I barely slept for most of the night, but they put different, a new knee in there, to titanium, and they put a little plastic piece in there. I don't know all the specifics. I looked at the video for 20 seconds when I got done with the surgery. I went, I don't ever want to see this again. No, it's not. But I got to get the end result. That's all that matters right now. I'm getting a little bit better day by day, but it's all good.
Rick Roden. No, not Rick. The new kid for the Twins. What's his first name?
Alan
Roden.
Right? Yeah.
Alan Roden. I mean, Southern, we have every day it's another hero. It's another unknown player we've never heard of before, rising to the occasion. I mean, I'd never heard of Taj Bradley before until he started pitching for us. I know he'd been around, but Taj Bradley. Then Pupil, Precip.
Whatever.
Yeah, they got that.
Prelip.
Yeah, Prelip. And now Roden, we got guys coming from out of the woodwork, and the team is winning ball games, and they won again last night, rallied back. Roden playing in his very first game with the Twins, first big league game ever, right? And he drives in the winning run with a single, and the Twins win again. And how are they doing now, did you say? Are they winning?
It's 1-1 in the sixth inning. They just starting pitcher for Cleveland had a no-hitter until the fifth, and the Twins cobbled together some at-bats and got a run and tied it up. And it's encouraging because Bailey Ober pitched 5 really good innings in his return. And that's a real boost. We talked about it, I think, yesterday, getting Bailey Ober back in the rotation. And he gave up a home run, solo home run, I think, a second inning. And he got his 5 innings, and the Twins tied it up. Now they have another guy I never really heard of. Rojas is in the mound, left-hander for the Twins. I think they just called him up. So there's all kinds of players coming and going. But getting Bailey Ober back is huge, given the need for good starting pitching, along with the guys that they count on right now, in particular with Joe Ryan leading, and Taj Bradley, as you mentioned, and Zeb Matthews. It's 1-1 in the sixth.
Yeah, well, we talked about this yesterday, and again, I think it's worth repeating. This team is, regardless of the state of the American League, regardless of the state of the AL Central, they are a legitimate contender for a division crown or a wild card. And we're at the All-Star break, at the unofficial halfway point of the Major League Baseball season. So shortly after, they have the rest of this Cleveland series. Who do they close against before they go to the All-Star break?
The Angels. The worst team in the American League.
So let's say we win today, or even if we lose it, but let's say we win 2 or 3 from the Angels, sweep the Angels. We could be going into All-Star Tuesday. The Twins could be in first place. And so,
well, they could be.
And so, do you start again? The discussion will be: will the Twins be buyers or sellers? And there are people I talk, in passing, you know how it is when you're in the sports business. People go, "What do you think about this? And what do you think about that?" And most people I talk to still have this negative, and I understand why, this negative opinion of the Pohlads and the Twins. They'll just trade. And for some reason, and I guess I'm taking Tom Pohlad at us, where we talked about this yesterday. He talked about they need to patch up the relationship with the fan base. And you don't do that by having a team, regardless if it's a weak division, weak league, you're in the hunt again. You don't trade players. If you if you decided you announced Byron Buxton has agreed to be traded and we're going to get rid of Joe Ryan, then I think you're in really big trouble. I don't think anybody goes there. I think you say, we like with where the team is right now. A couple of those prospects that we got in trade for our bullpen pitchers last year, we're now trading them and we're getting some bullpen help. We're gonna see if we can. Yeah. We're gonna see if we can if we can play this thing out a little bit. I think they're going to do that, and I think they need to do that.
I was just reading an article in our sports business magazine I get on Tom Pohlad. It was a really good article on him, about him being the youngest owner in baseball right now, and wanting to meet all the owners and kind of feeling a little intimidated by it. But at the same time, it's why he doesn't. He wants to be among the fans, but granted, he's down in the Champions Club. I get it, but he does want to interact with the fans, and he's heard an earful from them, and he understands their wrath towards the ownership and the mistakes that they've made. He's trying to, I'm not saying correct all the ills, but he's definitely trying to move in that direction, talking to fans, understanding what's going on, and also, more importantly, moving in a direction. Right now, they have an opportunity that I don't think any of us imagined even a month and a half ago. And it's not, not their fault that the rest of the American League is just kind of mediocre right now. They got to react to what they have. They got a good young team, and they got to supplement it by getting some relief help. We know what they did last year, and that was a shot to the fan base right in the heart. And that's not going to work out. So, yeah, I think it's something that the future for the Pohlad name, and remember they were trying to sell him. They got some limited ownership, including Craig Leopold, the owner of the Minnesota Wild, on the team payroll, is right as they say, running the team a little bit. But it's up to Pohlad. The Pohlad name is going to continue on, and you hear that name and people, it's like, oh man, I don't want anything to do with them. Fans many times I want nothing, and I understand that. I've been beyond upset about what they've done the last year and a half. But now they have a chance to do something about it, and we'll find out. They're not going to trade Buxton. I don't think Joe Ryan's going anywhere. I think I hope they're going to be at least buyers. You don't have to give up the farm to get a relief pitcher.
Do you think they will be buyers or sellers or stand pat?
Yes. I think they'll be buyers.
I do too. I think it's imperative that they're buyers. If they indeed are trying to patch up an awful relationship with the fan base, they have no respect for the Pohlad family right now. None. Zero. If you want to change that, then that's what you do. And if you decide, you know what? We're going to trade some of our better pieces, and we're going to build for the future. And it's like Yohan Santana said all those years ago. This team, and I'm paraphrasing, but this team always seems to be planning for the future. Maybe some of us won't be a part of that future. And he wasn't. He left.
No, we know that. Yep, he went to the Mets. I mean, when we were out there covering the Twins in the playoffs against the Yankees, all the New York reporters were asking Yohan, well, I'm glad you're playing in Minnesota right now, but when are you coming to New York? They were thinking Yankees, but, Yohan said, well, I'm happy here, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, he knew the writing was on the wall. They weren't going to pay him the going rate, and off he went.
We got plenty more to get to. A lot of meat left on the bones. We'll talk to Mark Rosen, other side of the break. It's Rosie, Common, and Tennessee right here on The Fan.
He has the best seat in the house, and we're all better off for it. It's Mark Rosen with the Common Man.
Couple 13:14 past. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Mark Rosen here as well. Time for Peek at the Pros, brought to you by the Minnesota Golf Association. You get a whole lot more out of your game when you join the MGA. You'll receive a handicap index that allows players of all skill levels to compete on an equitable basis. You play top public and private courses through the MGA North Star Series Senior Tour and official state championships for all levels of play. The MGA Ladies Tour, that's open to any adult female member. That was brand new this year. And then junior golfers can play for just $5 through the Youth on Course program at 150 courses statewide. Get more out of your golf game. Join today. mngolf.org/membership. mngolf.org/membership. And Tennessee, if you have a leaderboard. And before you do the leaderboard, another peek at the pros. As Tennessee mentioned yesterday, Jordan Spieth is committed to the 3M Open. Scotty Scheffler did earlier, about a month ago, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. And also today, Max Homa and Jason Day said they will play at the 3M Open. Yeah. So that's one peek at the pros. But Tennessee, the tournament taking place right now is
across the pond, the Genesis Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club in North Berwick, Scotland. And what's bizarre to me, Common, is the entire first round is over. Like, they were playing, some of these rounds are starting at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Did they play with floodlights, or
they must have them lit up or something.
Well, you know what I think it is? It's when you're that far north, like in Iceland and such like that, the sun stays up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why they're playing.
Yeah, anyway. Otherwise, that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But you have a 5-way tie for first. Tom Kim, Bern Wiesberger, Patrick can't play, Rory McIlroy, and Rasmus Højgaard are your leaders. They all shot 5 under 65. You got about 7 golfers at 4 under, including Brooks Koepka, Minwoo Lee, Michael Thorbjornsen, Kurt Kitayama, Angel Ayora, Oliver Lindell, and Andrew Novak.
It always gets a pretty good field because it's the week before the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale this year.
Yeah,
and so a lot of the pros, they want to get there, get acclimated to, the time, the time change, the zone. You've got jet lag, you've got circadian rhythms. Plus, you want to play a little golf across the pond. So yeah. Now, Mark Rosen is with us. Mark, you're coming off a big win in the Power Trip Bets U.S. Open pool where you selected Wendell.
Who, by the way, he's 2 shots back. He's 3 under, by the way.
Oh, is he, Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I take him again.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Let's say when you pick next week,
right,
and if Wyndham Clark is available, will you go? Will you say, I'm going to run with the hot hand? I'm going to go with the guy that brought me a victory, and what was it, $2,400 did you win? It's $200 per person, right? Yeah, who knows? They're making that kind of money. Who's counting, right?
It's the first time I've ever won one, so don't get too cocky about it. Well, I had the 9th pick in the end, so it depends on who's available, because I had the 9th pick, so it was like I was running out of golfers, and I did have Clark on my list of 6.
What if you get the first pick overall? Would you take Wyndham Clark?
No.
Why?
I would take Rory, because I just think Rory playing on this kind of home course. I mean, I just think he's always dialed in on the Open, and
I don't think Birkdale is his home course.
Well, not his home course, but you understand. I think his being the native son and the fan favorite, the gallery favorite, it's hard not to take Rory. I mean, it's easy to say, I'll just take him, because he's going to be a probably top 5 finish. And Clark very well could be again. The way he's playing, I mean, the way he survived that last round, man, being chased down with the shot, the whole thing, it was really captivating. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Why don't you just take Wendell Clark for the fun of it? Just because what's the difference? You're already playing with house money. Do the bit where you say, you know what? I went with him once, I'm going with him again. And then what if you win again? I mean, how good will that look?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll take your advice.
Yeah, just take it. Why not? What's the difference?
What difference does it make? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter.
You're playing with house.
We're just having fun.
You're just having fun. Yeah. And if you're having fun, the audience is having fun, and everybody's having fun.
Exactly. Well, we always I like you. I'm a big golf, especially the majors. I always love the Open because,
I do.
As you guys were just talking, when you get the final round, you put on the TV at 8:00 on Sunday morning, and you're already, maybe the 4th, 5th hole of the final round. You don't have to wait till 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon or later to watch, the end of the tournament. So you get to see it pretty much early in the morning. So it's the last one, isn't it? At the last major?
Yeah, this is
I think it is.
This text message says, if Rosen names cats after the streets he lives on, his cats would all be named Easy. Well, you're living on Easy Street.
that's what street do you live on again?
I live
Insane Lane.
I live on Insane Lane. You live on Easy Street.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Is that really Laurie Amsterdam guy?
No, yes, it is. It's Maury Amsterdam. That's exactly what.
Okay, we got to go, Maury.
Yeah.
He texted me not that long ago.
Yeah, he did.
We chit-chatted a little bit.
Oh, really?
On text.
You and Maury?
Texting.
I didn't realize.
I'm texting a little bit, yeah.
I didn't know that you and Maury were tight like that.
Well, I'm not saying we're tight, but I enjoy his humor.
I would never admit to being tight to Maury Amsterdam guy.
No, of course not.
No, you don't want to do that.
Larry Mandela guy's a whole nother.
I think Maury Amsterdam
story.
guy's on the witness protection program is what I think.
He might be.
Yeah. I don't think his name is really Maury Amsterdam guy.
Oh, man, that's funny.
I used to call him Fat Matt. I'll just leave it at that.
He's a beauty.
So I'm reading LaMelo Ball stuff in the Star Tribune today, and it says it's a running joke in Orlando that he runs stoplights and speeds. That's funny? Or is that where we're getting a menace to society, driving around Minneapolis streets, going through red lights?
Well,
but that's not fun. I don't know why do people.
It's not funny,
and that's why. I mean, again, maybe I'm taking this too seriously. But the way it was written today was just almost like it's not that big of a deal. People get killed when you run red lights. If you have a green light and you're going through it and you get hit by somebody.
Is this a story that someone wrote?
Didn't you see it today?
I did not. No, I saw this. I've seen other stories about LaMelo and his love of sports cars, and people have been kind of joking about the fact that he's going to show up with 2 Ferraris and a Lamborghini or something. But I don't really know. I did not see that story. I don't know where it was.
It was Fish Wrap Factory West Side today.
No, I didn't get a chance to read it today.
Here's what it says. LaMelo brings signature shoes, catchphrases, and a global brand to Minnesota. It's written by, what do you mean it's not available? They've taken it off. Look at they've taken the story. Here it is. So here's what it says. Watch out on the roads.
Oh, boy.
Ball, the owner of an eccentric car collection, has become a running joke on social media for being a menace in the Charlotte streets during his time with the Hornets. Ball was involved in a crash back in February after his Hummer collided with a sedan in uptown Charlotte. Ball has no known driving citations, but fans have posted videos of his car speeding and running red lights. The fantasy sports website Underdog put up billboards in Minnesota recently that said, I've not seen them, but it said, beware, LaMelo driving. Isn't that funny? He goes through, and that funny he speeds and he goes through stop signs. What a cut up, that LaMelo Ball. Go get him, LaMelo. Just score a lot of points for us as long as you can help us win games. We don't care what you do. It's just.
Well, he said he hasn't been cited, right? Is that right?
He hasn't been cited, but they have videos of him. You can see him. It's his car going through red lights.
Well, I guess I don't know what to say. It's obviously that's an awful scenario. You're entitled to have any sports car you want, but you come to a city like this unless you're. I don't know where. I always wonder because I remember even going back to when I worked with Rashad many moons ago. He had a Ferrari and he used to, he would tell me just before cell phones, and we'd leave after our Sunday night show, he'd drive home to Lakeville. So I'm going to call you. We didn't have cell phones, and he'd call me when he got home, and he went down 35W. He was going, those wide receivers, like there's certain personalities. I think LaMelo was like that. Jordan Addison, obviously, he's had his own issues. But Ahmad would probably go 125 miles an hour down 35W. He wasn't going through stoplights. That was, I don't think he did it every night, but I mean, there's times he did it. Either. No, it's not. But I'm saying guys get cars like that and they wanted to air them out, and they can't do it on the streets of the city. You better be very, very careful. You're not, unless you're on a drag strip. You are endangering other people. Now, I don't know. Now, getting back to the basketball side of it, today's the day that that trade is supposed to be consummated. The Naz Reid situation, the LaMelo Ball coming here, and there could be some holdups. There's all sorts of things that are going on behind the scenes. Tim Connolly might be trying to arrange something else to get another player in here at the same time.
Really?
So as of now, they have not announced that trade.
What do you know?
Is the first day. I don't know anything other than the fact that they haven't finalized it yet because it has not been announced. But this was the first day where the trades that were made, the transaction would have to get the blessing of the league and everything else and the team. So, I think there's a lot of stuff going on. Burning the old midnight oil. I'm sure Connolly's been doing that to try to figure out maybe getting another power forward in there as everyone waits with bated breath for LeBron's decision as this goes on and on and on. And I don't think there's any progress in that. He's taking his sweet time as he always does.
Common, the company my wife works for, has an office in Charlotte. Her coworkers there laughed at us and said, good luck and good riddance once they saw that LaMelo was traded.
Huh. Well, here I saw this video the other day of him holding his baby. I mean, a pretty young infant. I think I don't know if it was a boy or a girl.
Baby's called Lawan. That's the name. Lawan. I'm serious.
Lawan?
Lawan.
Oh, man. Well, his dad's a character. We all know that. And
this one says, Rosie said this was the first time he won a golf bet. He won 2 golf bets in 2016, 2 in 2017, and 1 in 2023, and the U.S. Open. That's from Power Trip Bets.
Really? I did 1 in 20. I have no recollection of that.
You said you've never won a bet before. You won 2 in 2016, 2 in 2017, and 1 in 20. Well, still.
No, I can't. Well, Power Trip Bets knows. I'm not going to argue with him.
You're winning all sorts of bets. You know what you are? You're a golf expert.
Yeah.
Well, you are.
You guys just poke fun at me after it's over.
Just ask Wendell. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's Common, Tenneby, and Mark Rosen right here on the Fan.
Mark.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's Tenneby. Mark Rosen here as well. All the JV teams in World Cup soccer have been eliminated. It's now down to 16 teams. As you just heard in our World Cup sports update, France and Morocco. Rosie, your thoughts on that matchup tonight?
Well, I think France is probably the overwhelming favorite in that one, but I'm not going to break it down. I'm just
you
saying
like this Morocco club, though, don't you?
I like the Norway club. It's the club I think a lot of folks are rooting for here in Viking country, if you know what I mean. Their celebrations and the stud player that they have and the way they play. I think that's the team I would personally be rooting for, but I'd like to see them. They're going to have long odds as well. But yeah, I mean, the usual suspects are still around for the most part. So I'd like to think that the interest level, even though the U.S. has been eliminated, the viewership has been off the charts. You know, like NFL type numbers, 38, 39 million. But now we'll see with the U.S. not playing anymore, how those numbers will reflect, kind of the interest in this tournament, even though, of course, it's being held here for the most part, leading into the World Cup Championship. But I would think they're going to still be very strong. I think people are really kind of latching on to their favorite teams right now as we go on through the quarterfinals.
Where's your interest level? Do you care casually?
Yeah, I do care. No, I enjoy. I'm sitting again. I'm a locked prisoner in my house at the moment. I can't go anywhere. I'm watching the Twins game right now, and I'll probably watch. Actually, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm probably going to put over. This is over. Probably watch a little bit of the Timberwolves Summer League game in Vegas because I want to see Baron Scher play a little bit. What?
Really? You haven't had enough?
I'll watch a little bit of it. What's that?
I think
I'm not going to sit there and watch the whole game.
Why don't you broaden out and watch reruns of like Andy Griffith?
Oh, I've been watching. Do you have any idea? I've been watching everything under the sun, basically, series, whatever. Right. Trying to read. My concentration level is not real good.
Well, tell me how Baron J does.
I will let you know.
I saw a story on CBS Sports. I like these stories. This is list radio. It's lazy radio. It's talking about if every team, knowing what they know now, could redraft in the 2024 draft, who would they select in that first round? Now, if you remember, the Chicago Bears selected Caleb Williams. What do you think CBS Sports says if they could do it over, who they think the Bears should or maybe would or should take? Do you think would they say Caleb? May? That's exactly what they say is Drake May. They say Drake May.
I would think so.
I would still take Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument. I think he's got an explosive set of talent, that's for sure. I think, that's why the Vikings were trying so hard to get Drake May. There was no way they were going to do it on that night. They tried everything. They basically saying, take the whole draft picks, all our draft picks. We want Drake May. I think that's the general consensus that, but I'm kind of with you. I think there's a outlaw kind of, out of the box sort of feeling about watching Caleb Williams play, and he proved it last year in some of most bizarre game-winning plays. He's got that DNA in him, and I kind of like that. And not that Drake May's not going to be a tremendous quarterback. He is, but I mean, I think that makes the most sense to probably say, well, the logical pick would be Drake May over Caleb Williams.
So if they did that, then they say the Commanders would take Caleb Williams. New England, they think, would take Jaden Daniels in the number 3 spot. In the number 3 spot, and they actually took Drake May. But again, if one spot changes, it's hard to predict who they would take. But this is just getting down to what the Vikings would do, and what they think, knowing what they know now. With the 10th pick, of course, now they probably wouldn't have traded up to the 10th pick to get this player, but maybe they would. They think they would have taken Cooper DeJean, a cornerback out of Iowa, if they could do it all over again. And that probably
I think a lot of people here were hoping that. Yeah, I think that's, after watching him in college any number of times, and I think a lot of fans here certainly were aware of Cooper, that would be a pick that I think the Vikings would have loved to have had. I mean, especially the kind of his aggressiveness fitting into what B-Flow loves to do on defense. He would have been a logical pick. I think that would have been tremendous. But, the Vikings were in need of getting a quarterback. So
is Cooper not the one who had that controversial punt return that was called back against the Gophers? That was him, right?
The fair catch one.
Yes, yeah.
The fair catch.
That's right. I remember that.
That wasn't the fair catch. That wasn't, but it was. So yeah, that's when Iowa fans were still steaming about, honestly. But yeah, he's a hell of a player.
Cheryl Reeve, she breaks the WNBA record for regular season wins. She surpassed former Son of Mystics coach Mike Thibault for her 380th regular season victory in Connecticut. And, Tana B asked me, the question was, Timmy, you asked me in 534 if she was the best basketball. How did you phrase it?
Best women's basketball coach of all time.
And I said, I think she might be the best coach in all of Minnesota sports history of all time. Your thoughts? She's better than Bud Grant.
Well,
Bud went 0-4 in the big game. She won 4 world championships.
Yeah, she has. And Cheryl's carved out quite a career for herself. And now, obviously, wearing a couple hats because she's also the GM of the league. So it's not just a matter of coaching. And I think because she's done it, we talked about this thing, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. I'm a little foggy about which day it was. She had a lot of really, really talented players when we won those championships. And we could list all the names of Simone Augustus and Maya Moore and Lindsay eventually and Sylvia Fowles and the rest of them. And now that she's kind of, she almost won it last year. Now she's doing it again. And that's a great thing about how you measure, the excellence of a coach is when you don't have necessarily the best roster in the WNBA in this case, but she's managing to cobble together. You lose some players through expansion. They made the right pick with Olivia Miles, getting her in the high in the draft. So it's a testament to Cheryl that people buy into what she's continuing to sell. And the players have a great deal of respect for her word. But she's also, I think Cheryl's probably be the first to admit she's learned a lot over the years. She's learned how to be a great listener and listen to what their players are having to say about things. So you could argue about the best coach of all time. I mean, I still would probably put Bud Grant up there.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't win a championship. We know that, but in terms of, it's really hard to measure between the two. First of all, not so much the gender. I think it's more of the sport and everything else. So,
in the WNBA,
you can't argue against
WNBA, where they have like 12 teams during the run of championships, right? I mean, it's just less competition.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is that you can't really judge the two of them. It's not to take anything away from Cheryl because that's just she won in spite of all that. And that she was able to find ways of winning with the teams that were ever changing and with the best players in WNBA now. I mean, not the best players in WNBA, but she's got quite a resume, and I don't think she's losing any of her zest for what she does for a living. She loves coaching and she loves being here in the Twin Cities. And I think here's the question you ask. I think Cheryl Reeve could be a coach of any basketball team, male or female. I mean, I think Cheryl would have that kind of command in a locker room, that she would be. I mean, maybe she would cross that barrier at some point. Now we have assistant coaches, Becky Hammond, a few others, I think have made their way in the NBA as assistant coaches. I think Cheryl, absolutely could succeed in the NBA. I think people would respect her. Maybe I'm wrong. I think she would.
How many teams were there in the WNBA? 12?
That's what Tana just said.
At the time of the championships, I'm not sure where it's at now.
Well, when Bud Grant won the NFL championship and lost in that first game against Kansas City, there were only 16 teams in the NFL.
There's 15 right now in the WNBA.
Well, there were only 16 in the NFL. The AFL had 10, but they didn't play against the AFL, and they were separate entities.
No, they did not.
So that's 4 more teams. I don't know. You guys, it's an opinion, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said I think Cheryl could coach in the NBA. I think
could she coach in the NFL?
No,
okay.
I don't think she'd want that, but I don't think it's on her plate right now. But probably if she put her mind to it. But listen, flag football is turning into a big thing right now. So.
It is turning into a big thing. And it's going to be, is it going to be in the Olympics too, right? Isn't that what it
is? Yeah, it is. And they're trying to get the high school league to sanction flag football here in the state to really make it, kind of an official sport. My understanding is that. And they've had, especially the girls are really getting involved with it. It's a really popular sport now. And I think it doesn't cost a lot of money to get involved with it. I mean, it's not like you got to get all the equipment in the world. You don't. You're basically wearing a jersey, a pair of shorts, and you have a flag hanging out, and it's just, it enables a lot of other people to participate in the sport who are really maybe not fit for other sports. And it's great for them. And I think you're going to see an explosion. And now you're right. You're going to see the NFL get involved with this thing you have in the Olympics. Imagine Justin Jefferson playing wide receiver in a flag football team in the Olympics. That would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I guess it would. It would be similar
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, to me, though, it's like, teach his own, right? I mean, if that's what you want to see. But to me, that was like when they allowed NBA players. Has the United States won pretty much every gold medal in men's basketball?
Right.
They never lose, right? So
they lost. They had one controversial game they lost many moons ago.
One game many moons ago.
Yeah, that was it.
My point is, if you had a flag football team in the United States filled with the Justin Jeffersons, the Pat Mahomes, do you think you could take the best players from every other country in the world and it's just give them the gold medal? That's fine that if they do it, if they want to play it, but that's not even fair. I mean, the United States, they can't lose a fantasy football. There'd be no way.
I wouldn't think so. No.
Put it this way, if the United States flag football team with Pat Mahomes at quarterback, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase as your wide receivers and all those, and you were to lose to Lithuania, that would be a bigger upset than the United States Olympic team beating the Soviet Union in the 1986 Winter Olympics. Oh my gosh! Would you agree with that?
Quite sure.
Would you agree with that?
I probably would. Yeah, I don't know another country that would be that's kind of ready to take on.
Well, no,
talent.
There's only one guy from the only people that play from other countries are Pete Gogolak and Garo Yepremian. And Jan Stenerud. It's the place kickers. And then we had that German wide receiver for a while. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Or no, was that
he was going to make the team.
Or was it the Twins had a German outfielder? I don't remember what it was.
Well, the Vikings have brought in a big dude to try out for the team. They didn't make it. No, I can't imagine any country. Listen, they have their own football. We know that. We're watching it right now. They're not going to be interested in participating in flag football. They just don't have that. They're not dedicated. They don't have the resources to do it right now.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Toe Blake was a great hockey coach?
Toe Blake.
Do you think Toe Blake was a great hockey coach?
Yes, he was.
Well, there were only 6 teams playing back then. There were 6 teams in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, but think about the talent that was spread out over those 6 teams.
Well, think of the talent that was 6 teams. Think of the talent that was split up over just 12 WNBA teams.
I'm not quite sure what argument you're trying to make here.
When I said Cheryl was a better coach than Bud Grant, you both said, well, apples and oranges, because there were only 12 teams in the WNBA and there were all these teams in the NFL. Yeah. Well, how good of a coach
I wasn't denying that she was the best coach, by the way.
Oh.
It was not ripping on her in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, okay.
And I could go along with the argument. I was just mentioning devil's advocate. Just right, the Frost won 2 championships.
Right.
Well, there's 6 teams in the league.
Right.
It's great. I'm happy they did. But, your championship with 6 teams is not going to mean as much as a championship with 32 teams. That was the only point I was trying to make.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if we're only using championships as to whether a coach is great or not.
Let me ask you this.
Right, like Tom Kelly's 2 championships. How many teams were in the Major League Baseball at that time? Was it
30?
30 back then?
I think 30.
Yeah.
Back then. All right, let me ask you another question.
All right.
So, Tim, do you agree with that? If the United States flag football team, if they were beaten in the Summer Olympics by Lithuania, that would be the equivalent of the United States. That would be a greater upset than the United States beating the Soviet Union in hockey, correct?
Agree. It'd be a bigger upset than Holy Cross versus the Gophers.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
How about
Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson?
Yes. How about this for now? Would it be even a bigger upset than if they had
Goliath and David?
Well, if they had boomerang throwing in the Olympics and the Australian team lost to any other team in the world.
If they lost to Iceland.
If they lost to Iceland.
Yeah.
Australia
That
lost
would
the
be a great
boomerang
sport.
competition.
Man, I love to see
To
that.
Iceland, it wouldn't be possible, right?
No. Well, we keep adding sports to the Olympics, so you never know. Boomerang might be in there someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do that bit every 4 years when the Olympics come around about, no, you don't even know what bit I'm about to talk about. I do the bit every 4 years about, I would like to see, those track and field type games you played as a kid, the 3-legged race, the wheelbarrow race, right? I mean, honestly, I would, instead of watching some guy jump over the high, and there are high hurdles, low hurdles, and mid-level hurdles, right? I mean, watching a guy, that's okay. I mean, but it's fun and it's an accomplishment. Or watching the 100-meter, 100-yard dash. I'd like to see like Mark Rosen and Tennessee, three-legged race, your ankles tied together, and then see who's the fastest to it. Why isn't that an Olympic event? I think that would be fun to
the
watch.
X Games. The X Games has that opportunity to add, whatever sports. Oh my goodness, Woo, Suck, Go is in for the Twins.
Like the wheelbarrow one too, where I would grab you, you grab your ankles and you got your hands on the ground, and then you start running forward, and I'm holding onto your ankles like I'm hanging onto the handles of a wheelbarrow.
I feel like this would just be an entrepreneurial idea for you. Your own alternative Olympics.
I would love that. The other one I always bring up is those. Mm-hmm. We used to call them chicken fights. I'd get on Mark Rosen's shoulders. Meat Sauce would get on Tennessee's shoulders, and then you would go at each other. And the two, Meat Sauce and me, would try to throw the other guy down, and whoever threw the other team would win. Those would be much more fun than half the Olympic sports. They have snowboarding. I can't think of anything. Watching the toboggan and the luge. You just strap yourself to and when you're watching with and when you watch it with the naked eye, you can tell no difference from what one team does. They're not doing anything different. Just one happens to be just a split second faster than the other one.
You'd have no idea who's winning. No, absolutely.
They win by 0.0000018 of a fraction of a second. I'd rather see.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not interesting to watch. No.
So
bobsled, not good.
The South Korean kid's in the game now, you're saying?
Yeah, he's pitching tonight. The Twins losing 4-2. Cleveland got a clutch hit, 2-out hit to knock in a couple of runs. The Twins, Royce Lewis hit a home run to cut it to 4-2, but barring a ninth inning rally, they're down 4-2. And the Go kid, the Korean kid's in there pitching for the first time for the Twins in the ninth inning. And, they take 2 out of 3, so be it. They got the Angels here this weekend. They need to take care of business and be right back in the swing of things for the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Oh, he just gave up a home run. So, oh well.
And there were some people on this radio station, on this very show, saying they were excited about the trade and thought the kid would be great, and why not? How stupid was that person?
Launched one.
Yeah, who was that, by the way? Oh, wait.
I think that was the host.
Did you know he used to have a longer name back when he was in Korea?
Yeah.
They shortened it when he came to the United States.
His name when he was great was Going, Gone. Now it's just Go.
He just got a Brad Radke stiff neck looking at that one go over the right field.
Well, there's that.
Wasn't even close either.
Did he hit it out of the park? I mean,
Well, it's in that right field area, where you have kind of the
right.
8 to 10 rows. Yeah, it went onto the plaza.
So it's not bouncing on First Avenue right now.
It might be there by now.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. Well,
That's
you know what?
fun.
You're another day closer to recovery, Mark. That's all I know. Every day is, I know last night you said it was your worst night, but it's got to get better. There was a song there was a song by the Beatles from the Sgt. Pepper album called it was called Getting Better. And the line was, I have to admit it's getting better. It's getting better all the time. And then right at that point in the background, John Lennon would go, it can't get much worse. So
I feel the same way.
Right. It can't get much worse than it is now. So it has to be getting better. So we wish you the
Well, I
very
appreciate this. This has been a nice diversion for me. Being able to stir it up with you and Antenna the last 3 days, and I'll be back next week. I probably won't be driving again for another week or so. But
do you think you'll be in studio, though?
No, probably not.
What if we send a car for you?
Well, if you want to, go ahead. I mean, I'm sure Ab would love that. Send an Uber for me. That'd be fine.
We might send a car for you. We'll discuss it.
All right, I'll be waiting for the phone to ring.
We'll see if we can find some tactical, as we like to call it here at the Fan.
That's right. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.